It's a week of lunches I made for my husband to stop him from spending a small fortune on food in London. Starting off with this spring onion and crispy chili oil focaccia that I made ages ago and defrosted. I like to use my homegrown basil and carrot top pesto to moisten the bread instead of butter. Topped with some fancy deli meats, mozzarella, tomatoes and rocket for a kind of antipasti sandwich. And this was thick and messy. I have no idea how he deals with all the mess in his van. I was in serious need of food shopping, so I just cobbled together snacks from whatever I had. I did cucumber from the garden with a tara masalata dip, and this is love when I gave him the last of our garden peas to snack on. A couple of slices of banana cake also from my emergency freezer stash, and an actual banana just for good measure. The next day I had time to do some food shopping and I made a fresh batch of bread rolls. The recipe for these is linked in my bio, and I love that you can make them into any bread shape you want. These got made into a cheese ploughman sandwich with this new lettuce I'm growing in the garden, and I am obsessed with it. It's just something about the frilly lettuce edges that make it look like a sandwich from an advert. For a snack I was trying to use up some of my homegrown cherry tomatoes, mix it with fresh basil, avocado and mozzarella, and of course yet more of my homemade pesto. That's going to be a running theme in this video if you haven't already realised. I got some of my frozen cookie dough out to quickly bake, oat and raisin flavour and white chocolate macadamia nut just like the Subway cookies. And here it all is before going into his lunchbox. I found this chicken that was one day out of date, but because it still looked and smelled fine, I air fried it. He never watches my videos, so he will never find out. This time I mixed mayonnaise with my homemade pesto, which is an absolute game changer. This is the same bread roll recipe as before, but you can see I've shaped it into a longer roll, kind of like a foot-long Subway sandwich, which is obviously his go-to when I haven't made his lunches and he's out and about with no food. He will happily polish off a foot-long Subway sandwich, 3 cookies, and then get a Five Guys on the way home. His sweet treat was this carrot and beetroot cake made with veggies from the garden, and I packed in a bit extra to give to his work friends. The next day my organic meat order was delivered, and I was trying out this nitrate-free gammon joint for the first time. I can confirm that it was okay, but absolutely not worth the £35 price tag for a few ham sandwiches. I used every scrap of that ham, including making a stock from the cider juices. I mean, I'm trying to save money after all. And I'll be sticking with the regular old nitrate cured gammon joints from now on. This was a ham, egg and smoked cheese sandwich with mustard, and he was leaving extra early that morning, so I made him breakfast as well, which was Greek yogurt with blueberries from the garden and honey. It was so hot that day, so I also made him a bottle of peach iced tea. I like to reuse these glass sauce bottles, which are a perfect size and they never leak. And here is video evidence of me putting in a knife and fork because he always says I forget. There had been some minor complaints of me giving him too much bread, so the good wife that I am, even though I had so many freshly baked bread rolls, I put them all in the freezer and made him a pasta salad instead. It was so delicious, and he won't notice if I took a bit for myself. It was super hot again, and he tends to eat a bit less when it's really hot, so I gave him some watermelon and cucumber and tomatoes to snack on. And instead of an iced tea, I gave him an iced coffee. He literally rang me to say how good this lunch was and that he wants an iced coffee with every lunch from now on. And that's everything I made him this week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!